Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Sosbans and Sidesteps podcast. Joining me, Big M, as always, Mr. Hugh Griffin and the one and only Carwin. How are we doing, boys?
I feel much
Fantastic.
better after that introduction. The one and only. Wow. Where did
Well,
that come from, Matt?
you're the only Carwin on these pods that we really care about, you know what I mean? And you're looking rather dapper this evening, so I thought, got a reference there.
Well, when you get two wins on the bounce, you've got to make an effort then. I mean, you've got to up our pods game to follow the team.
Exactly. The team's winning, and the sun hasn't stopped shining in Llanelli and the wider West Wales and parts of North Wales area ever since Friday night.
Yeah, just ignore the flood warnings that came out over the weekend.
Floods of happy tears. That's what it was.
Right, we'll go with that. Sounds good.
Yeah. So, needless to say, for anyone who didn't catch it, we tamed the Bulls for the second time, 100% record against them at the park. So, did you boys think we had a chance?
I was going to say, I feel like I should apologise to you, Matt, here, for laughing at you for suggesting we'd win. So I do apologise. You got it right. And as in, bizarrely, not sort of, wasn't like we fluked it. As in, I thought the boys played magnificent, took their chances well. Game management was much better for a change. And yeah, it's probably the most complete performance we've seen from a Scarlets team or Scarlet squad in a very long time. And I just hope now that this is that corner's been turned.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you, but we've seen brilliant strides of improvement compared to last season already, and we seem to be moving forward. You know, I know first Cardiff game wasn't very nice for us because we dominated everywhere and shouldn't have won, but we are taking steps forward, and it's great. It's a great feeling. I mean, no one can argue that. I mean, the pack. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've got too many words.
Yeah. Sticking with just like the emotions of it. I would love it if we could just have a comfortable, win one of these days. Just almost, it makes me almost nostalgic for when we used to lose by loads, because then at least I wasn't nervous going into the last 5 minutes. Whereas now I'm absolutely going to pieces, as I tweeted out on the official Twitter account, and you had to go at me for jinxing it, but I was just in bits, Like, yeah, the starting pack was phenomenal, but let's face it, by the end, Bull's 7-man scrum was shoving us off our own ball, and I was like, God, we're going to mess this up. But yeah, I'm just so happy. 2 in a row. It feels like 20 in a row,
Yeah.
and just, but it's exactly what you want as a fan of a sports team. Couldn't ask for anything more than we got on Friday. Absolutely delighted. So I don't know, where do you want to start actually dissecting the game, going into the in-depth analysis? What do you want to talk about first?
Should we talk about the scrum first? We love talking about the scrum in West Wales, don't we?
All right, okay. First, I just want to straight in with a stat then. According to Rugby Pass, we lost 3 scrums in this game. No, we never. We never lost 3 scrums in this game. We lost 1, I think.
Yeah, I was looking at that as well because it's 8 from 11, I believe,
Yeah.
is the stat they got for us. And I was looking at that, I was going, okay, that doesn't seem quite right. We got the ball out at almost every opportunity except for that one. And it doesn't matter if you're retreating 100 miles an hour. If you get that ball out, that's a scrum one.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing I do want to say is a point that I brought up last week in terms of selecting our front rows. It was a massive difference between our starting front row and our replacement front row. We had our number 1, 2, 3 starting that game. Matthias, Elias, and Henry Thomas. And everyone knows how good Elias is as a scrummaging hooker. Matthias, he's showing people outside of Llanelli now how good he is. And Henry
Still
Thomas,
yet to be penalised at the scrum 5 games into the season.
He's immense. Like we saw this back end of the 22-23 season when he first came to light. He is everything you could want in a loose head. And at his age, he's only going to get better. He's only going to learn more. And these opening few matches have shown how much he has actually learned. But then you've got the counter side of it. When these boys go off, that standard is dropping down, which is why I suggested, swapping certain players in and out to try and keep that balance level. Because we did see that drop, which I think that's something we can actually look at, perhaps changing for this week. Something to improve on is getting that.
We've got Holtz arriving in a couple of weeks, haven't we? So
he's arriving in November. I'm not exactly sure when in November. I am hoping to God he is available for the Glasgow game on the 29th. Because if he's not, that means we're down to Sam Wainwright and Gabe Hawley again.
The saviour, Gabe Hawley, according to you last week.
No, it weren't last week. It was the week before. And he's not the saviour. He had a very, very good TV game. I was very impressed by his form and his technique going into the scrum. Still a kid, still a baby. I don't think he's quite ready to be tested at this level yet. But, who knows where we're going.
I think it's difficult, though, isn't it? Because obviously we pick our strongest 8, or strongest 3, strongest 5, front 5, whatever you want to call them to start, and they're having a real impact on the game. I think if you start mixing them up, maybe first choice loose head, second choice tight head, you might not have that dominance. And then instead of maybe struggling for the last 20 minutes, you're struggling for over an hour of the game. And as much as we are struggling towards the end of the game, I do think that the shift the boys starting and putting in, we're really seeing the sort of the hard work and paying off. And for a few years now, we've had a scrum where it's been going back faster than. Well, we had 1 year then, Matt. People listening, Matt whispered 1 at me. We had 1 year where the scrum was flying back at a pace of knots, and we've turned it around remarkably. And I'd say our pack is outperforming our backs at the moment, and I'm a big fan of back running play rugby. So for me to say that is like Matt saying the most important player on the pitch is not in the front row.
That's common sense, though. Come on. I mean, does anyone actually believe the most important player comes from a higher number than 3?
Yes.
Everybody who hasn't played in the front row union would suggest so, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to put a photo on screen now, which is my favourite photo of a Scarlets player so far this season. And I think, Mart, is going to be your favourite photo as well. You ready? There he is. What has 2 thumbs and eats scrums for breakfast? This guy.
Look at that man! How gorgeous he is! That is a stunning person all around. I mean,
there's not many people who are going to scrum against the Bulls and have a smile that wide on their face afterwards.
He looks ready for round 2 there, doesn't he?
He does. He's like, that was a good warm up, boys.
He's like, I thought we were going to be scrimmaging this game. What a start to the season he's had, and it's just it's incredible.
It's a typical case of one of those where you don't realize what you don't have until you have it, if that makes sense. Like,
definitely.
Oh, this is what it's like when you've got a really good scrum. And yeah, we're going to talk about the Wales squad later, but he's first choice tight head in Wales, as far as I'm concerned.
Hands down. Yeah. Hands down.
I spoke about him a couple of weeks ago with this, when I say about his shape and the way he goes in. What he is like now is what I imagined Harry O'Connor would have been in like 3 or 4 years' time. Obviously, injury now, obviously we'd have to wait on that, but I see the early formations of a new Henry Thomas in Harry O'Connor with how he goes into a scrum, which is obviously one of the main reasons why he was in and around that Wales squad. But yeah, I mean, he looks like he's just done the warm-up. He looks like I haven't played a game yet. I actually want to go in now. Can we do something, please?
How old is he? Is he 31?
32.
Yeah.
I looked it up, and he's by a long way our oldest player called up.
Yeah. No, fair enough, yeah.
I can get his birthday up if you really want me to.
If you want to get his birthday up.
We'll have him on his birthday. It can be his birthday treat.
We'll send him a cake.
He's going to be 33 on the 30th of this month, so is his birthday coming up.
Oh, happy birthday,
Henry. You'll be in Wales camp on the 30th. 33rd even.
Henry feels a bit formal. We should call him like Hezza or something.
Yeah, big H.
Yeah.
The H.
Triple H.
Triple H.
Okay, so what is next?
Just on the sticking with the pack, have you seen the interview with Tame Plumtree before the game? He says, we've got to believe that we can take on this Bulls pack. And the first visit that we got to their 22, we opted for the tap and go. Now I'm sat there on my sofa thinking, take the 3. Commentators saying, take the 3. Everyone's saying, take the 3. They tap and go and they get over the line. And I think that was a massive psychological thing in this game. I think that was the pack proving to themselves. And to fair play, that's come from Josh McLeod. That's his leadership that's made that happen. That's them. They've obviously got fired up, and it's been their chat in the week of, we matched this Bulls pack. We are not the Scarlets of last season, the pack that gets bullied. We are the pack that stands up to the Bulls. And they took that try, and I think that was a massive psychological win for them that carried them through the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% there. I'll second. I'm lucky. Josh McLeod is a warrior. It's something we haven't had in, about 3 seasons, maybe 4, possibly even longer for him. Like, he's still a young man, he's only in his mid-20s, and we haven't had him full-time for so many years. He's an unbelievable player. He does everything you possibly want, and the sort of grit it takes to make those decisions and then back him up, that must have done, wonders just for him. And he came off that pitch. Well, it looks like he'd gone, 15 rounds with someone. He gave every last inch of himself in that game. And what more can you want from your captain?
Oh, exactly. He's certainly proving his worth again, and having him fit is just a major boost for Dwayne Peel and the all of the squad. Just to go back on what you were saying about taking the try, I think it was a very wise move, as in, we all expected the Bulls to score in excess of 25, 30 points because it's what they do. And the Scarlets probably thought, right, we could take the 3 and bring the score back to 7-3. But the reality is, we will not win this game by taking 3 points. Throw a bit of caution to the wind. If it doesn't pay off there, you've still got 70 minutes to recover. But yeah, I actually thought they'd missed the opportunity a couple of phases before. But then, McLeod just said, right, I made this call. I'll sort this out. Johan, just get the tea ready. We're going over. And it just set us up then. As in, it sort of gave belief to the squad, to everybody there, to everybody watching, as in, the Scarlets we're not the mugs maybe that we were last year, and we're not going to get these 40-point halftime deficits. We're going to be in games, and if you give us a sniff, we will punish you. And 2 teams this season have been fortunate that we haven't finished off the job that we started, really. Because otherwise we'd be sitting very pretty now, 5 games in, 4 wins, 1 defeat. But no, I think rugby's a funny game. I tweeted this myself. I said 2 weeks ago, I genuinely thought our season was over. And now we get a win on the weekend against Zebre, and we're back in the mix, and we've got something to build on. So credit where it's due to Dwayne, to the coaching staff, to the players. They've just really turned this around, and that Bulls performance is a statement, as in, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over.
Yeah, I mean, I want to expand further on our pack with that try. As much as I talk about how our scrum went down a notch when those replacements came on, carrying and going forward, that did not stop. I still have no idea how Jac Price doesn't have a try against his name, because he powered over that line.
He scored that try. Yeah. Let's just get this straight. All the South Africans on Twitter talking about the referee being on the Scarlet side. Jac Price scored a try in that game. The ref said he was short. His entire torso was over the line. He's never short in a million years.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of this Twitter chat, and there's a few knock-on decisions as well that is more than questionable, sort of favouring the Bulls team. So let's not get into that, because I think they'd have more egg on their face than us. But yeah, Jac Price definitely scored. And I hope he had I did score a try celebration that night, even though history books won't suggest or won't show that he did cross the line.
Yeah, him and Blair Murray have got a I scored really club going on.
Oh, that's brilliant. So where to next? So what else do we want to discuss?
I just
I
want
mean,
to shout out as well. Well, two things. Firstly, Tane Plumtree, amazing again. Like he's starting to look like you can't move him back to 6 after this. He's going so well at number 8. In fact, we said on this podcast loads of times he can be as good as Verfafita. He's really proving us right every single week, isn't he?
yeah,
There's nothing he can't do. As in, he just offers so much all around the park, and he feels like he's been there for so long. He just feels like a leader on that pitch, as in, um, and for such a young, well, for a young player, a new sort of new player to the squad, to the surroundings and everything. He's just, yeah, I can't sort of compliment him high enough. As in, he's fast becoming a Scarlet legend, and yeah, if he just carries on, the sky's the limit with him.
He's
yeah.
slightly mental, but in a good way.
That's what you want. That's what you want in a good back row forward. And along with another certain player, I think the Scarlets is becoming the home for players New Zealand wish they kept. This.
Yeah, we'll talk about him in a minute, but that if I was a Crusaders fan, I'd be really pissed off right now. But then the other thing, the tactic, and this goes down, leads us later on to a chat about Dwayne Peel. The selection of 3 locks in the starting 15, obviously a counter to the Bulls' size. Did you see Cobus Visa in this game wearing 25 on his back? The biggest man I've ever seen in my life. And he can shift as well. He was running full pelts at us. He ran at Tane Plumtree a couple of times, and I was like, Jesus, we're going to die.
Yeah, watch the shoulder, watch the shoulder, watch the shoulder.
But we sorted him out. But yeah, what did you make of the decision to play 3 locks? And it worked, didn't it?
Yeah, it did work. It 100% worked. Those 3 were in my match day 23, regardless. I've spoken all season about the balance in the background. I think we had a proper balance in there. We had a destructive 6 or 8, depending on which way around you play them with. So that was perfect for me. That was the most balance we've had in our back row all season, and I love seeing it.
It's a brave call, I think, playing Max at 6, as in, it paid off. I thought he put a shift in. He looked comfortable there, as in, I don't think we'll see much of him at 6. But yeah, when you've got a guy whose number 5 shirt isn't big enough, so he's got to stick a 2 on the front of it to make it a size 25. I think it says it all. But no, it certainly seemed like, and probably not the first time this season actually, where a team selection feels like the right selection for the opposition. And yeah, I know Dwayne's got has received a lot of flack for results being poor and what have you, but he seems much happier, much more in control of things, and I think victories gives you that. You sort of see, oh yeah, I did that right. I did this right, and when the camera was on him on Friday night when Cawdor kicked the ball out at the end, you could just see how much that win meant to him, and I think it's good to see him enjoying it again, because it can't have been easy coming back to coach at your hometown club and what have you. But like the Guinness advert said, good things come to those who wait, and hopefully the good times are just beginning at Parc Scarlets.
Yeah. He's not lost as many games as people think as well. We had a really bad season last season, and no one's hiding from that. But in his time since he's been in charge of the Scarlets, he's the second most winning coach, and he's only 5 behind the guy who's in first. So it's not like it's night and day. He's actually, like I said, we had an extremely poor season last season, but for all of the times that we've said, Dwayne, you got this wrong on this podcast, this week we have to say, Dwayne, you got it right. And I think that victory is tactics for it, and his selection is a big reason for that. So if we just, bring up the stats to talk about the tactics, The Scarlets, yes, those Scarlets, the ones who play in red, 37 kicks in a game of rugby. 37. That's for people who don't know how many kicks there normally are, like 25 is normal-ish. So we've got like 50% more kicks than a normal kicking game. Like he's really taken the feedback on board. He definitely listens to the pod, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I think they were competitive kicks as well, weren't they? Johan
Yeah.
Lloyd putting them up there, Blemery chasing like there's no tomorrow, and it certainly was a tactic where if we kick the ball away, we kick it to try and win it back. It wasn't we'll kick it down behind the back three and let them attack from deep. We want to disrupt the ball if they get it if they win it back. And it'd be interesting to see, or had maybe Costello started the game, had they gone with the same sort of tactic, or was that specifically brought in with Johan at 10? I don't know, but it worked, and we made life very, very difficult for those bowlers on Friday.
Yeah. Touching on, those kicks. I mean, Costello coming on, those exits were unbelievable. I mean, we've talked for the last few weeks about, Cawdor's exits not quite being there or thereabouts. But, for those last 20 minutes with Sammy on the park, he just put that ball deep out.
He was perfect when he came off the bench. He changed the game. He completely changed the game. That was more like what we saw last season. Do you remember last season we always said Sam Costello on the pitch for the Scarlets is like a light switch. It's like Sam mode. And that's what we saw in this game. Like, what you're saying, Cowan, about if we'd have started him, what it would have been like. I think the fact that we brought him off the bench helped us win more than if he'd have started and been on for the whole game. But like I said, we're going to talk about the tries in a minute, but his kicking was absolutely spot on. He had half a dozen fantastic kicks, and that it was a massive game changer. The other stat that I just want to call out as well, the Bulls, 22 entries, scored 3 tries. Scarlets last season are conceding 7 tries in this game from that.
Easily, yeah.
There were a couple that we got a bit lucky, to be fair, where we had terrible exits and they ran straight back at us, and Cameron Hanekom ran at us, and they should have scored, to be honest. But, them's the breaks. They didn't check the scoreboard.
Ooh, I like this.
What do you like? You have to tell people for the audio format, Martin.
That little graph that we just saw.
Now, this is all Rugby Pass. I can't take any credit for this. But yeah, just a defensive performance that we're not used to seeing, is it? And long may it continue.
Definitely. It feels like a different sort of atmosphere. Everything seems happier, more in sync, as in boys know what's expected of them. But yeah, it just feels like everything's more drilled into them, and there's a better game plan in place, and a game plan being executed as well, not just thought about.
8 penalties conceded. Who are we? What team am I watching?
Watching the best team in Wales, you know that, but come on.
Yeah. Should we talk about the tries? That's the fun bit.
Yeah.
Well, we've kind of spoken about 2 of them already, obviously.
No, we haven't really. No, we'll talk about more. Do you want to talk about the Tom Rogers one first?
But they're back tries. We don't need to talk about them.
No, come on. Yes, we do. Come on.
Well, they won the match.
What? Who else? I know I mentioned this afterwards, but what Tom Rogers did in beating those 3 players was outstanding. But that pass to get to him, that rocket launcher from Sammy, was outstanding. I mean, what is he by the post, and he gets it out to him by the 5-meter line? Just so easy, so simple.
Yeah, so Johnny takes it in. Normally, right, we're starting with the assist. Normally, when there's an assist where the person who scored the try has skinned 3 men, the assist is a bit lucky, it's a bit of padding his stats. Even I saw Bulls fans saying that pass was unbelievable. How far has that gone? That's half the pitch.
Good 25 meters there, looks.
Have you seen how quick? I can't even pause it fast enough for people on the audio. We're kind of watching the video back. I can't pause it fast enough. He gets it and it's gone. There you go. See?
Yeah, all right.
And it's over. Tom thinks I take it back a second. Tom's got the ball there, right? And he's thinking, it's Curtly Aronson by there. I think I better turn him inside out just quick. And he does that. There you go. One step. That's Curtly gone. Sorry. Never heard of you, mate. Mine's a steak and ale pie, thanks. Takes it on further. Canan Moody, he's a decent player. Never lost in a Springbok jersey, Canan Moody. My favourite stat about him. 11-0. Beaten the All Blacks twice. Thinks, oh, I'll step you as well. How about that?
Got battered by Tom Rogers.
Yeah. Then Ambrose Papier. People say he should be in this Springbok squad. I'll tell you one place he's not. He's not in Tom Rogers' face. He's in his face.
He's in his pocket.
Yeah, exactly. And he's over.
Now, here's the one question for you. Who taught Tom that handoff?
I did see people saying that Foxy would be proud of a handoff like that.
Seeing things like that, it leaves you in awe. It reminds you of how we can play the game, and it's something that we haven't been able to see at national level in well over a decade. You know, that step in.
It's Scarlets. That's what I like about it. That's what the Scarlets are all about. Moments like that. We've spent an inordinate amount of time on this podcast praising the pack, which is just not how things are supposed to be. So talking about a winger hit skinning 3 men, that's much more like it. Do you not think?
Oh yeah, it's what we're used to, isn't it? It's what we expect. But I think as well, I can't remember who gives Sam the pass. But
Johnny.
Was it? If Johnny's pass isn't perfect, Sam can't let go of that ball without having to move it, and Rogers doesn't score. As in, I don't want to sort of give all the credit to the assist, but all those things had to happen in perfect sequence for Rogers then to take half the balls in his pocket. But yeah, that'll do his confidence such a world of good as well. Because obviously, has Sim been twice this season already?
Yeah.
Obviously that missed pass between him and Joe Nicholas, and just a lot of little things haven't gone his way. For him then to turn to two world champions inside out is just it's just gonna build his confidence and hopefully make him realize actually I can get to the tie line and just crack on with sort of more of that, please, Tom, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Or when you're listening, I should say.
Like I've already spoken about Tom, like in recent weeks, his attacking game has gone up a couple notches, and that was even before this try came in. Like the work
he's been very, very good under the high ball this season so far.
I mean, he's beating players, he's making meters, which, as a winger, what more do you want? You get that ball, even if you're not in space, you beating that first man. It's something that we've praised, the likes of Steph Evans of for many, many years, and it's something he has been doing this season, which is just brilliant to see. So that was one winger's try. Last thing on Tom Rogers is that after a few games this season, I've kind of reflected on it and gone, oh, he didn't do much in that game. And then I've gone and looked at the stats after and gone, oh, he has actually done quite a lot by it. Anyway, this is the other try. Now, it says here that this is Blair Murray's first try. I think they mean 21st try, I think is actually the correct count. But so the clip doesn't start early enough. The clip starts with the ball in Johan Lloyd's hand. But what was interesting about the setup from this is it's from a line out. It kind of been Elias. I can't remember who's at the receiver. It must have been a back row, I suppose. Was the receiver, and then Cawdor was stood at 10. So we've got a numerical advantage in the back line. We've got all of our backs in the attack. And then it goes to Johan Lloyd, who does great work. So he's got Moody here on a piece of string. So that's Blair Murray just off his shoulder, and they've got Moody in a world of pain here. So he's got to make a decision. They've flooded his channel. So if I play it on a bit, Johan goes inside like that, and he's taken contact there, but he stays alive, and then he gets the chicken win offload. Now, Blair Murray's not even in the 22 here. He's got loads to do to get through this. So he's in space. That's a high tackle. That's a yellow card. But never mind. Keeps going anyway. Shrugs him off. And it's like the Bulls were like, oh, he's still going. This is Gumede, plays for the Bulls here. People in South Africa have been raving about him so far this season. Blair Murray just leaves him for dead.
or doesn't even leave him for dead, carries him over the line.
That is him, yeah.
Gone over the line with a number 6 on his back.
Can I just say that I think all international teams need to look at this Scarlet side, because this is how you negate Kane and Moody in defence.
Yeah, well, it's kind of our thing, isn't it? We're not cutting teams up out wide, are we? All of our tries, our pretty tries, have come through the middle this season. Like, if you think about the ones where Johnny and Eddie have helped each other, I'd love to talk to Dwayne about that, because we're not scoring in the corner very much. We're going pretty central. We're doing it the hard way, it has to be said. All of our nice tries that we've scored are like maximum effort, shall we say?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I always look at it when I think is when you go in wide, you're playing against 16 men. You put that touchline as another defender. So, and if you're tracking where the fullback is or where the wingers are sitting deep, if you can beat that first man in the middle, you've got an easier chance, really, because you've got more men flooding around you. I mean, it's a great tactic to go at, and it's something that Peelers, him and JP, Jared Payne, have been working really hard together on this to get this attack going, and fair play to them, they're doing it.
Yeah, I'd love to ask him about it. If we ever got to interview him, I'd love to ask him why we're trying to go up the middle of the pitch so much, because it's unquestionably harder to do it that way, but we seem to be repeatedly making it work. So interesting, isn't it?
I think it also shows, though, that our wingers are hungry for work and come in field looking for it. Probably realizing when you've got sort of Eddie and Johnny in midfield and either Johan or Sammy at 10, stuff can happen. So be ready to be on that shoulder for when they make the break, and as opposed to staying out wide trying to stretch defenses. I think the way we want to play now is we probably want to play a bit narrower, because we've got players in midfield capable of holding that pass to the very last second before throwing it. We saw it in that Tom Rogers try, and also when Eddie gave it to Johnny against Cardiff recently. So I think wingers coming in like that, not holding their wings, just shows how we want to play and how successful it's been when we've played like that.
Absolutely. Things to improve then in the game. Just rinse and repeat the things that we always say to improve. Discipline, which was bad in the first half, good in the second half. Substitutes, we used more of them, but still not all of them. I think, how many unused subs was it in this game? Two,
I think, wasn't it? Yeah.
Again. And then exits. Please, Dwayne, while you've got Cawdor free during this international break coming up, have a chat with him about exits, because oh my God, we should have conceded about another 2 extra tries because of indecision, shall we call it?
I mean, there are clear work-ons, but that's just amazing, because we're already showing that we're getting over the line and we can do this. And when we're playing maybe a 7 out of a 10, take out the errors, go up a notch, and then, form will find us wherever we are. It's not as though we're playing to 100% of our potential here and doing it. We're not. That was, all right, it was the most complete performance that we have seen from him, but it's nowhere near as good as we can get.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, there's 3 clear things that we need to get better at. I think when Archie Hughes is back fit again, I think that's going to make a big difference, just because there'll be one extra sub that we use. Joe Roberts as well, I would expect.
That's going to be interesting.
Maybe Johnny to drop to the bench, depending on the opposition. But then, like I said, you talk about impact. Johnny Williams coming off the bench on 50, 60 minutes. Now we're talking.
When he came back from injury, either last season or the season before against Munster in the Six Nations, you tore him apart.
Yeah.
You get that Johnny Williams on the bench and you're laughing for fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So, those are the same work-ons. Exits. Don't let Cawdor exit. Get someone else to do it. Just say, no Cawdor.
Sounds like a dog when you say it like that, man.
Well, he is a bit like a dog, let's be honest. He runs with his tongue out.
Who doesn't? When you got that try line begging, how can you not have your tongue out? So does this bring us on to 3-word thoughts, or have we got more to go through?
Buying Carwin some time to load up the 3-word thoughts. Just quickly, some people have been going after Premier Sports for the signal during the game.
Oh,
I have to say, I was watching it on S4C, not S4C, Scrum
BBC,
5.
yeah.
Also, signal continually went out on that as well. I
okay.
actually, I'm afraid to say, I'm pretty sure that it was a local problem at the Scarlets end that was causing the issue.
Yeah, I was obviously, we now have a semi sort of contact with someone at the Scarlet, and she was saying that it was a BBC issue in the ground.
Really?
Yeah, so very much local, but apparently it was the BBC's fault.
Okay, not plugging something in.
Yeah, or checking it beforehand, someone tripping up and just, oh, we don't need to plug our back in, we're fine.
Cameras need batteries to work, is
Mm.
the moral of the story.
Okay, so Carwin, are we ready?
Yeah, and as you can imagine, after this game, it got a bit berserk with 3-word thoughts. Sorry, I forgot the name
Our
of the title.
social media engagement has been through the roof
Yeah,
this weekend.
32 comments. I'm going to say they were all on Friday. Some might have rolled into Saturday, depending on how much flavoured liquids were drank on Friday night. So Peter Davis, and as you can imagine, it's a similar pattern, but we'll go through them. Peter Davis, awesome team effort. Hugh Williams, great defensive performance, and I think there's a lot to be said about that. Betty Hughes, she's put brilliant down once, but we'll presume she wanted to say brilliant 3 times. Benjamin Christopher, gutsy muscle up. Lee Patterson, I think a lot of people would agree with Lee. We are back. James Jones, Tom Rogers. I think he wants to say da iawn, but to make it 3 words, he's gone D iawn. So we'll allow it because mixing the Welsh in as well. Phil Breakspear, dark days over. Well, let's hope so. Margaret Killen, fantastic win. Scarlet. Andrew Goff, proud of boys. Mark Thomas, belief, guts, spirit, and certainly everybody on that field on Friday had those 3 in abundance. Jason Bowen, we see light. I think we do, yeah. Tony Barnes, let's keep going. And I think that's crucial now, isn't it? It's all well and good beating the Bulls at home, but if you don't back it up, it's pointless. Stephen Evans, I like this one. Shoulders of giants. Shivers when I read that out. Paul Daniels, absolutely bloody brilliant. Michael Thomas, about bloody time. Which, we've got to say it's been a long time coming, but we're there now. That's the main thing. Martin Griffith, Diane Scarlets. Jason Owen, let's keep momentum. Owain Leclerc, Scarlet, speak English. Ben Cole, up the Scarlets. Mandy Tucker, Mandy back again. Well-deserved win. Iwan Llywelyn, just so proud. Gareth Young, great team effort. Michael Pugh, keep the faith. Catherine Watson, and probably everybody apart from Mart would agree with this one. Wasn't expecting that. Chris Moggs, finally a streak. Gareth Williams, never in doubt. Gene Williams, what a result. James Nicholas Rogers, simple but effective. Scarlet, Scarlet, Scarlet. Daniel Owen, so he's gone. I'm going to interpret it into 3-word thoughts because there's 8 words. So first word rhymes with ducking. Ducking, brilliant, what? Then the second 3-word thought is I win, I. And then the third one, speechless. But I think he just got too excited, as we all did.
He's just gotten giddy.
Exactly. You beat the Bulls, all sense disappears. But no, thank you to everybody who joined in on Friday. As in, it's fantastic to hear your thoughts, and obviously when we win, it's even better. But obviously when results don't go our way, we also like to hear from you then. But no, thank you. Let's keep it going, and let's hope that the momentum carries on. This is the start of better days at Parc y Scarlets, and let's enjoy this ride we're on.
Yeah, and the reason that we are so giddy is because it wasn't a full strength Bulls, I think it's fair to say, but it's still we didn't expect to, apart from Martin, didn't expect to win, and it's just that's how much we look up to a team like the Bulls. So to get a result over them, that's why we're so excited. So, for all the banter on Twitter, the reason that we're all so giddy is because we're just excited to see us play that well and beat a team that we respect so much.
Let's not forget, it wasn't a full strength Scarlets team either.
Thank you. I was waiting for that. I was
Wales is number 10, started on the bench. We rested Sam Costello for 60 minutes in that game. So yeah, it's all well and good the Bulls were at full strength.
We didn't even have Ver Fafita.
Exactly.
We had a fourth string tight end on the bench. Come on.
The best outside centre in Wales wasn't there.
Best outside centre in the Northern Hemisphere. Come on now.
Kanan Moody was gutted. He was hoping for some lessons.
If I can
he got a few lessons, just not the ones he was hoping for.
If I can just add something to that 3-word thoughts, in that moment, Rogers greater than Aronza. Absolutely brilliant in that moment. He's got to be remembering that forever.
It doesn't matter what the people think, because there's someone who was there in amongst it who can tell us. He might have scored a try, he might not. He definitely did. Who can share us his 3-word and maybe a bit more thoughts, Martin?
Yeah, got an amazing chance to sit down with Jac Price, and he loves his little brother. That's all I'm going to say. So enjoy listening in now. Hello and welcome to a special edition of Sosbans and Sidesteps. I'm very happy to be joined by Scarlet's lock, Jac Price. Thank you for joining me. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. You right?
Good, yeah, I'm good. So this could be a weird one. Everyone we've spoken to so far has shortened their name. So Marnus is short for something, Max short for Maxwell. Is it just Jac?
Yeah, just Jac, yeah. Plain and simple.
Nice and easy. Okay, you're a Carmarthen boy. You wore your Quinn socks, for the Origin round last year. So if you can take us back to the beginning of your career, how old were you when you got started, and where did it all begin?
Yeah, just with Carmarthen Quins. Started when I was about 6, 7, I think. And then played all the way through then, all the way to youth. And then to the first team as well. So it's been quite good.
So were you involved with the Dewar squad and obviously the academy from the beginning, or is it more of a staggered step up for you?
Yeah, played for Carmarthenshire schools under 11s and the 15s, and then into the Scarlet 16s. And then I done a year in Ysgol Brymerddin in sixth form. And then the second year then I come across to CSG and then got picked up by the academy when I was 18 then.
Oh, here we go. So it's a slightly different journey to some. It's always good to hear there's other ways around there. Yeah. So, that brings us to this season, and, you partly created a bit of history in pre-season, another set of brothers, turning out for the club, took the field with your baby brother Ellis. So, how was that experience, and, what's it been like having Ellis around?
Yeah, it's been a bit strange, to be honest. It's obviously like in the game and in training and stuff. He's he's a fly half, so he's trying to march boys around and he's screaming at me to get around the corner, and I'm just looking at him like, just shut up. But nah, he's good. He's enjoying it and he's taking it in his stride. So, it was a proud day for the family, and it's really good.
Okay, so on to you now. So, 4 appearances so far, 50th cap last Friday. One thing we all want to know, how did the ref not see you ground that try?
I don't know. He just struggled to get an angle for it, but I was gutted when they disallowed it. It was my first ever try. It would have been cherry on top. But I'm glad we got the win in the end. Tom Rog in the end, mental finish.
Yeah, I mean, I still can't wrap my head around it. I don't know how you can even manage it.
My finish.
So on to you more personally. So how would you describe your game? What type of player are you? And, how far do you think you can really go?
I just like to do the basic things well. Do you know what I mean? Just like my carrying, my tackling, contact area, just little things like that. Do you know what I mean? As far as I can, just see how it goes. Do you know what I mean? Just take it week by week. So yeah, just enjoy my rugby.
Brilliant. So you and the pack have been great this season. So what kind of influences, Albert Vandenberg really having on the squad? And it seems as if there's been a bit of a mentality shift there. Is that something that's happened?
Yeah, definitely. Albert's been good to myself and like all the other, well, Moggs, the young second rows, and all the team really. It's just trying to work on our basics, like the end result to look after itself, but try and really nail our basic like detail and stuff. And so far, so good. But there's still stuff to work on. But now, hopefully, you'll get there in the end.
Yeah. So a second win against Bulls this past Friday. So how are the preparations for Zebre going?
Yeah, very good. It was a good buzz. Just training was good earlier. Like the boys who aren't playing have been really testing. And it's been really good.
Good. So obviously Wales squad announcement yesterday. 8 boys from the team selected. So how have you and everyone sort of reacted to that?
It's good to see so many of the boys in. Do you know what I mean? Fair play. They've been playing really well this year, and really chuffed for them.
Good. So a few boys weren't selected, the likes of Johnny Williams, McLeod, but they're now going to be in and around camp for this ahead of the second block. So how important will it be to still have them?
Oh, them players will be massive, like they're proper leaders, like us younger boys look up to them. They'll be massive to have around.
Okay, so I've got some quick fire questions here, so I want you just to answer as fast as you can.
Yeah.
I haven't picked all these. Some of them, I don't know if you're going to smile or if you're just going to think, oh, what is he even asking me? But you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Off the top or up the jumper?
Off top.
Super Rugby, Cymru or Pacific?
Cymru.
Okay. If you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be?
Invisibility.
If you could be any animal, what would you be?
A lion.
A lion. Any pre-match superstitions?
Nothing. No. Really.
No. Okay. Jac Price or Ellis Price?
Oh, Jac Price all day.
Last meal on earth, what would it be?
Oh, it's a tough one. Fish and chips, probably.
Fish and chips, oh nice. You're having a dinner party, any 3 guests from anywhere in the world, anytime. Who's joining you at the table?
Tiger Woods, Tyson Fury, and Conor McGregor.
Oh, that's a nice selection, but they're fair play, bet. Yeah, that's all my questions answered, Jac. Thank you very much for joining me. To everyone listening in, if you've liked this, please like, follow, share, subscribe, and we look forward to bringing you more content like this. Thank you, Jac. And
anytime. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Brilliant. A wordsmith if ever I heard one.
Oh, 100%.
And if you can make fun of your little brother, then all's good in the world. Fair play to him.
All of it. So where does that leave us, Mr. Griffin? What are we moving on to next? Is there a little thing about a national squad announcement to go through?
I think there is. So before we actually talk about the squad, I did a poll on Twitter and asked the people, because we always have this kind of debate, don't we, of do we actually want our boys being picked for Wales? And the idea being that, well, exactly. So you're shaking your head, Mark. So obviously we want for them as individuals, we want them to achieve their hopes and dreams and everything to come true. And we want Wales to win, preferably with Scarlet's boys scoring all the tries. But at the same time, Wales have got a bit of a reputation for just breaking players, and we want them with us, don't we? So I did the poll, and it was 56% says that they like lots of Scarlet's players in the Wales pack, and 43% saying no, keep them at home. We want to look after them. So I know what your view is, Mark. So why do you not like so many players going to Wales?
I mean, it's simple, really. It's the structure of the season. And it's not Wales' fault. It's not the Scarlets' fault. It's just how the season falls. and the fact of usually these boys would have 4 games and they wouldn't be available for Zebre next week. Thankfully, we don't have that 4th, so they should be available. But then it's the game afterwards away in Glasgow. Now, that could have been a game that we could have made a statement, but we're now looking at being without 5-6 players, definitely, from, like we've always said, we're not at full strength yet. Like, obviously, no one probably ever gets up to full strength for more than a couple of games a season anyway. But when you're losing 5 first teamers, at least, and I'm going to say at least because we don't know how many are going to be involved in these Wales 23s, it's going to hinder any real chance we have. Now, I know the same is true of Glasgow, but they've got a hell of a lot deeper squad than we have, and it's just something that I don't think the balance is right there in terms of compensation for these players and how their resting works. I mean, we saw with another team claiming they had to rest internationals, this past week. It just doesn't bother me. I think that relationship needs working on and a better balance of the season, if possible.
What's your thoughts, Car? Do you like lots of Scarlets boys with Wales?
Funnily enough, I was the first person to vote in this poll.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Keep them home. Obviously, I'm chuffed individually for them getting picked for their country, and I hope they all go on to win 50, 100, however many caps they get. I hope they all get. I hope they all get a cap this autumn. But at the same time, I do think that maybe one or two of our boys who have been included will pretty much spend the next month holding up tackle bags. And won't get much time on the field, and it's just there's also we see it every year, not just the Scarlets. It feels like every region they send their players off to play for Wales, and there's always a dislocated shoulder, or there's always a long-term casualty for
rolled ankle.
Yeah, there's always something that keeps a player out for an extended period of time. We've seen it with Sam Costello, and obviously he's obviously going to be in the Welsh squad. Yes, maybe his confidence isn't top of the world at the moment, but he's a quality number 10, as in he's carried the weight of the Scarlets and Wales on his shoulders for 18 months. It's going to affect the guy. He's only human after all. And I just hope now he goes away with Wales, comes back and is fit, probably misses the Glasgow game because of protocols or whatever amount of games allowed to play in a season. But what I don't want is him getting battered and bruised left, right, and centre that we don't see him till January, because then we'll see him for a few weeks in January, and then he's back with Wales in the Six Nations squad. So, chuffed for them, but at the same time, if there was a Wales squad without any Scarlets player, I wouldn't be too upset, because it meant we could wrap up our boys in cotton wool for a month and hit that Glasgow game with a squad of 35 fit, fresh players to pick from.
Yeah, if I can expand on that further, it's not injuries during matches that we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's the injuries they're picking up in training. I mean, Josh McLeod, we've already spoken about him earlier. He's a major player for that. 2 or 3 injuries in training, which took him out for essentially two plus seasons. I mean, this is what we're referring to when it comes to injuries. If it happens on the field, that's it happened on the field.
Course, yeah.
No, we're not going to have a whinge about that. But when you got players going down having serious injuries, like not just 1 or 2, like multiple players over the course of a season, it's been a trend for the last 15, 16 years whenever Gatland's been involved. Players get wrecked. And just as Carwyn just pointed out, holding tackle bags for 3-4 weeks. I mean, the Scarlets have just announced earlier this evening that we've now got a development game against the Dragons on the 9th, the day before the Fiji game. I mean, if we've got 3 or 4 boys not involved in that 23, you'd like to think that they would have been involved in the run out just to keep their match fitness up, because that's what we're losing when boys go to Wales and don't play. They lose all their match fitness.
Yeah, absolutely. So as it's worked out, so the Scarlets have supplied more players to the Wales squad than any other club. So just to list them, so we've had a full front row: Matthias, Elias, Thomas.
Best front row.
We've had Tame Plumtree, which we always knew was going. No scrum half for the first time in forever, but that's because I think Cawdor retired. I think he would have been in ahead of Roger Williams.
Actually, I think that's also because Archie's injured. I think the moment Archie's fit, he's going to be fast-tracked because everyone's been raving about him for years.
That's a big call, Mark, but I like it.
But
Obviously,
yeah,
Sammy's in, Eddie's in, no Johnny, which was a little bit of a surprise. And then we got 2 wingers / fullbacks in as well. So the ones who, if we just touch on the boys who we thought we might have gone but missed out, Johnny Williams being one of the main ones. Yohan Lloyd, I thought, was in with a shot. And another boy as well who I've forgotten. McLeod, yes, thanks, Martin. Yeah, so I
think the thing with McLeod, he's probably not played enough rugby yet to get picked in a position where we're sorry.
It's a high turnover position. It's
and also such strength in depth, as in I'd imagine every one of the regions would argue about a back rower that they believe should be in from their own region. It's a shame really that we've got so much talent there, because there'll be so many Welsh boys who don't get caps because of the strength and depth they got at back row. But if he carries on, and if he can stay fit, I think that's the key with McLeod. If he can get a fit 12 months, 18 months, he'll be back in that Welsh squad. It's just he needs a run of games under his belt, I think.
So for the boys who've got in, congratulations to Blair Murray on his first call-up. He said that he got quite emotional, telling his mum about it. His mum's always dreamt of him playing for Wales. So that's I can only imagine how wonderful that phone call would have been. Go on, Mark.
Yeah. Can I just add, Tonrevel lady living out in New Zealand, that's a dream to a lot of people. If you're living in the South Wales valleys, especially in the bad ones, and I can say it's a bad one because I'm from there, the Rhondda, to get out is a dream come true. So well done to her, and well done for raising such an amazing son.
Yeah, I was going to mention it earlier. The Crusaders had a injury crisis in the back three. That's why Johnny McNichol went back to them, and like 6 months, not even 6 months later, a kid who they turned their nose up at, who's playing at Canterbury, is about to get capped for Wales. Like, if I was a Crusaders fan, I'd be fuming.
Sounds very similar to a second row we once signed from Ireland, and this is what happens. Boys come to us, dreams come true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Title of Scarlet's autobiography.
I think we've got an affinity, especially with New Zealand and especially jocks at the minute. If you ever fall out the favour in that Scotland squad, or you're trying to build yourself up, just come here. We've got 3 in recent history that have built solid careers off our backs.
Barkley, Byrne, Alex Craig, Blair Murray.
Tom Barkley is a great one.
It's what we do. As in, we there's probably more. Easterby, yeah, exactly.
What was his name? The English number 8, Ben
Morgan, yeah.
This is a fun game. Can we name an 18 of careers saved by the Scarlets? Maybe right here and now.
We'll have to think of it. Not on the spot, no. Very boring hour for those listening.
Yeah. The hour after.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question about it is, for the likes of Blair Murray and Tom Rogers in particular, and Eddie James to an extent, when are they going to play? Because we've only got 3 games this autumn. And, if people haven't been following Fiji and think that Fiji's like the experimental game, no. Fiji are ranked above us in the world rankings. They're 9th in the world. I think they're ranked above Australia as well. And I think if they get a good autumn, they could go above Italy also. They have lost, I think they lost to England, and they lost to the All Blacks in the last few tests. And that's it. They beat England in Twickenham. They beat Australia at a World Cup. They've just won the Pacific Nations Cup without even really trying. And they're going to have played a game against Scotland before they play against Wales. And it'll be our first game. And we all know that Wales are slow starters. So you have to, if Scotland experiments against Fiji, we're going to get humiliated. They're going to destroy us. So for these fringe boys that we've got going in, I'm not seeing when they're going to get game time this autumn. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, like for me, I don't want to call them fringe boys, but it's Rogers and Murray and I can see us going with 3 different back threes over the 3 games. I can see Winnett and Dyer starting as 15 and 14 in all 3, but Hathaway, Rogers, and Murray just slot into that shirt for 1 cap each for each of those games. I mean, that's where I see those 2 boys coming into it. Quite frankly, out of the 6, you've got Matthias, Elias, Thomas. I'd make a massive shout for them to start against Fiji, and Matthias and Thomas to really start all games, just because they are the strongest scrummaging front rowers that Wales have in that squad. Dewi Lake is a brilliant carrier. He's brilliant in the loose, but
He's also captain mine, so he starts against Fiji.
Yeah, I don't know, see, because Jack Morgan is there, and I know Gatland hasn't had an issue in the past in having his captain on the bench. And, if we have got Jack Morgan, who has been captain with him starting in that game, I don't see that as an issue. Like, you are most likely right. Lake will start all 3, but he's not our strongest scrummaging forward, and I think we need that on the park, especially against Fiji, if we want to target this game.
I don't think he starts all 3, but he starts against Fiji.
Yeah, exactly, 100% with you with it. And then with our other boys, Plumtree nailed on starter as far as I'm concerned. Costello should be in that 10 shirt, and Anscombe should be on the bench, in my opinion. That old Ed, the guide, and come on later. And Eddie James, if he didn't show enough in the summer to say he should be our 12 going forward, I don't know what to do.
I actually think I don't have as much confidence in Costello and Eddie starting all 3 games. The fact that Gatland made a point of saying Anscombe won't kick for goal makes me think Thomas Williams and Anscombe will be his starting halfbacks.
I think that as well.
I do think, however, Costello and Eddie start against South Africa, because it'll be a different sort of fixture to Fiji and Australia, where I think he's going to go Anscombe, Ben Thomas for those 2 games. I do think he'll go Costello, Eddie against South Africa, expecting more of a bruising encounter as maybe an opportunity to play a bit of rugby. And I know Eddie James has got silky hands, but he's also built in a way where he's a human battering ram. I hope I'm wrong, but that's the impression I'm getting. I think with loose heads, you'll probably give them a game each, just because I don't understand why you bring Nicky Smith back if you're not going to give him a game. Tight heads, as in, I must admit I haven't seen much of Archie Griffin at Bath, so I don't know how he's getting on.
Neither was any of the Bath coaches, I don't think.
Yeah. So I'd probably start Henry Thomas in 2 of the 3. Plumtree, I guess I'd imagine you go Plumtree at 6, Wainwright at 8, and then you pick either Jack Morgan or Tommy Raphael out of a hat.
And
Blair Murray gets capped. Obviously, you don't bring him into the Welsh squad if he doesn't get capped. I hope Tom Rogers gets some game time, as in that's probably my one worry at the moment, is how much game time is he going to get over the next month?
He plays against South Africa.
Yeah, well, that's the problem, isn't it? As in,
so he can skin Curtly Aronson again.
Well, they might have to play him because he'll still be trying to get out of his pocket. So that's the only way he gets on the pitch against Wales, is if he's in Tom Rogers' pocket.
Oh, Tom, Razzie's been on the phone. He says, can he have Curtly Aronson back?
I hope we don't have too many South African followers here. This could be bad, boys.
Well, it's all fun.
Oh, maybe I should put them in the thumbnail, then we'll get a few extra views.
Yeah.
I've already made the thumbnail as well. I have to change it.
Ooh, keen. But no, I do think every one of our 8 boys has got a strong sort of claim for that Welsh jersey against Fiji. I just personally think Gatland's going to go maybe in a different direction to what we'd like him to go for Fiji.
I do think Fiji are going to win. I know we're not a Wales podcast, but I think Fiji are coming. I think we've got to be worried.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I think just for people who don't know, who is not just a Scarlet, he's not just someone who focuses on Wales. He focuses on world rugby, especially France. He loves France with all the South Sea Islanders in there. He is outside of the professional game. He is probably one of the minds you want to talk to when it comes to foreign players and leagues around the world.
Judging by his hoodie, loves a freebie as well.
Oh yeah.
I can assure you this hoodie was not free. I paid very real money for it.
I'm only jealous.
Yeah, I think we all judge that is a nice hoodie. I know we've seen it a few times before, but it looks nice every time you come on. Except you have ruined it with a bit of pen now, so I think
I know.
It.
Yeah, I was pontificating. Anyway, I think that brings us to the bit of the podcast that everyone really tunes in for, Maz.
Oh yes.
Well, the letter.
No.
Okay, it's community time. And we start in the SRC as always. Llandovery were live Thursday night lights on S4C, and they did not disappoint. 42-13 win at home against Swansea. Swansea are bottom of the league, winless, but that doesn't take anything away from this team. Boys we had starting in this game were Ellis Mee, Ed Scragg, Morgan Jones, and Gabe Hawley. And we also had a 17-year-old from Kidwelly and Dom Kossuth on the bench, back rower. Very formidable player, very big player, especially for his age. If we touch on the match slightly, I mean, Hugh, I know you've seen it. Carwyn, you've probably read as well. Ellis Mee, that break. Oh, it's what we...
To quote the Scottish mother, disgusting.
He's making a case. We said, because in the first couple of games where he played, and in the pre-season game that I saw him, he was one of those players where he doesn't... If someone asked you, like, oh, what did he do in the game? You couldn't say, like, for the Scarlets games I'm talking, you couldn't say, oh, he did this, this, and this. You just have to say, he just looks right. He just looks tidy. And it's the second coming of Charlie Titcombe, really, because at this level, he just looks ridiculous.
Yeah. It's very similar to Jack Davis when he hits a bit of form, when he comes back. He dominated that league last season. And, we've now got an abundance of fullbacks / wingers that we can call upon that are playing regularly at this level, which is, it's what this Super Rugby Cymru was made for. And I'm glad we're actually putting it to a bit of use.
Is Charlie injured? Because I'm a little bit worried at the lack of game time that he's getting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say no, because he's not. I haven't seen him on any injury list, but we also have to remember he is now our third choice 10, like he was last season. But, I think we had other ideas for other players last season. Whereas now it's like, okay, if, Lloyd or Costello go down, you are coming into the 23. So he's in that training squad. And I don't think they want to risk him, really.
I hope he gets some game time in this Dragons game.
Yeah, 100%. He does need it and he deserves it. So, other game, Carmarthen Quins.
Sorry. I just want to focus on this because I did watch it, and this is my only chance I get to talk about it. Firstly, lovely new pitch at Llandovery. Everyone was very impressed. Like you said, Ellis Mee was good. Morgan Jones, when he scored his try, looked pissed off. So he's definitely a real forward.
On Morgan Jones, yellow card, not deserved at all. Disgusting decision.
And it's good to see Egg Scragg, so that's a potential Scarlet second row partnership. Dom Kossuth, in the Scarlet supporters evening, when Dwayne was asked about the under-18s players' integration, the first player he mentioned was Dom Kossuth. He said he's the one who's been in training with the seniors, and we like the look of him. I will also say that Llandovery were clearly better than Swansea, but it was a funny old game where Swansea had opportunities, and it was one of those where it's quite even, and then Llandovery would just score, and then there'd be a few minutes where it was quite even, and then Llandovery would just score again. So it was a bit of an odd one.
If you see my pouty face, it's because you've just taken my little phrase for tomorrow night's SRC podcast. Thank you for that. Right? This is why I don't like discussing it.
But then people get to hear you say it in the next game.
Yeah.
They get it said with passion and belief. Yes, I understand that. Funny joking, just other game we had in Super Rugby Cymru, Carmarthen Quins going up north to RGC. And so far this season, only Cardiff have managed to break down RGC, and Quins came so close, 29-24 in the end.
Did they go by helicopter? Did we know?
I don't think it was helicopter. I think they might have gone by ferry, if I'm totally honest with you. But, it's just one of them things. Quite a few players on show in this one as well. We had Yori Badham, Gabriel McDonald, and Rodri Lewis in the backs. Sam O'Connor, Keanu Evans, and Karen Tuapolotu in the pack. Now, when I saw this team sheet, because in the SLC podcast, I actually called an RGC win, which I'm glad I weren't able to change. But I saw those two and I was thinking, this game's going to be a lot closer than I expected. And by God, it was one score finish. RGC, like I said this day, I believe in RGC. Speaking with them, watching them this season, they're the real deal now. They are a team that you can get behind and actually, they will pull out results like they already have this season. So it's not, it's not dire to lose to RGC, especially in RGC, as Llandovery will tell you. So games for this week, both on the Saturday. Llandovery travelling to Aberafan and Carmarthen Quins hosting Ebbw Vale. That is a cracker to watch out for.
Is this the cup thing now? Am I
No.
right to think that? Oh, I thought they were having a break from the league, and was that next week? Have I jumped a week?
The cup thing's after the Six Nations, isn't it?
During the Six Nations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they haven't got games in November then, have they?
No, this is the last week of games for, I think, 3 weeks. I think they're actually playing when Wales are playing South Africa. I'd have to double check that.
Because I said that. I said, me and Mark had a discussion about this. I said that Super Rugby Cymru should be going on during the internationals, and then all of the non-international Scarlets players should be dropping down to Llandovery and Quins to get game time. Because that's what the New Zealanders do with NPC. The last rounds of the NPC that have been going on, they've had all Blacks playing for them. So that's my view. WRU, I know you're listening.
Well, of course they're listening. Everyone listens to this one. No one listens to the other three, if I'm totally honest with you. So, I'm just going to pull up my little matrix now. If I can find it. Yeah, the 23rd of November, there are games. So there is going to be one round of fixtures where, players from the regions could seriously drop down into the SRC, but it should be every single week, and especially next week, if I'm totally honest.
It'd be interesting to see, sorry to interrupt you again, if any of the boys from the SRC who've been performing well get shipped up to the squad for that development game against the Dragons. I think that
it should.
Yeah, definitely be a good test for them, really, isn't it? Sort of.
Ellis, me, and Gabe Hawley are two that I would expect to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm expecting probably a 28-30 man playing squad for this Dragons development game, and it might even end up being 30 minutes or whatever, because they've said development game, so I'm assuming it's not going to be a straightforward 40-40 23 man squad. So here we go. Next up, we've got Premiership League action. Narberth going down 36-30 at home against Newbridge. Tough times. Llangennych winning away 40-19 against Bonamine, and Cross Keys winning 34-17 at home against a travelling Emlyn. Good work from Emlyn getting down there and playing the game. So well done. Cup week now for everyone else in the leagues. So quarterfinals of the Premiership Cup. Only Narberth left for us. They are travelling to face Cross Keys. Narberth currently sits 13th, Cross Keys 8th. I don't think we've seen much of Narberth this season, so make of that what you will. Championship West, Crimich getting a tonkin against Tondy, 66-17 in Tondy. Ammanford winning 43-7 at home to Estalavera. Llanelli Wanderers winning 43-34 at home to Dunvant.
Palindromic score, Claxon.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it. That's what I thought as well.
I missed all that, boys. I'm really sorry. Okay. Cup action in for the Championship Cup. It's the round of 16. Llanelli Wanderers currently sitting in 5th. They travel to top place Tartar Steel. How many of us would have thought Tartar Steel would ever be first in any league?
I know, so, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
in that one.
These couple of years of dropping down and maybe settling themselves seem to be working, and they've come up trumps this year so far. One West now, Aberystwyth winning 29-14 at home to One Eyelid. Vellinvol going 32-31 at home to Ponta de Lice, edging that one out. Well done, boys. St. Clair's 25-19 win at home against Pencloud. And Tenby keeping this, brilliant season so far going. 22-15 at home against Buryport. Unlucky Blacks. But, Tenby are looking really fine right now. So
some nice scorelines in that division. I'm liking those scorelines. Proper rugby.
Good games.
Only 1 6-pointer, even though they're not
Exactly.
6-pointers. Division 1 Cup, round of 32. So Hendy, who sit in 4th in their league, travel to Aberham Green Stars, who are 3rd in theirs. Aberystwyth at home to St. Clair's, 1st v 3rd from 1 West. That's tasty. Tenby then travel to One Eyelid. Tenby sitting in 2nd. I believe they're still undefeated. So it's Aberystwyth against St. Clair's. That's a game you want to look at in this one. That's going to be a hell of a matchup. Down into 2 West. Larne winning 17-35 away to Fishguard. Carmarthen Athletic going down 22-17 against Lucha. Bud winning 51-12 at home to Betters, and Lampeter winning 22-17 away to Nancaredig. Whitland with a bye. Division 2 West Central. Bryn Aman away to Meister Celtic. 107-20.
They're playing cricket.
They must have been. And this is I checked this as well. So this is the biggest loss that this Meister side has taken. So Bryn Aman, they're definitely a top half, if not top 3 team in this league now, even though the results haven't quite gone their way.
Have either of you ever played in a team that's put 80 plus on someone? Like, what is that experience like as a player? Like,
I haven't been in a team that's put 80 points on someone. I've been in a team who's had 80 points put on them. And by the time we got to about 45-50, you're just laughing then. I think we lost 88-7, I think. It was a seconds game for Quintin LFC in London. Seconds, as you know, don't have the numbers of a first team. I think we started with 12. We finished with 14. Because 2 boys turned up late. And yeah, it was just one of those where we scored the last try, so we deemed last try wins. But yeah, you've got to laugh it off really, because sometimes you just know it's the opposition's a better team and nothing's going your way, and just it's part and parcel of sport really, isn't it?
Yeah, for me, it's never got to 80. We put 52 points on in the first half, and the game was called then. We were all actually quite annoyed at that because we were happy to just start the game again for another half and mix and match. But I don't think the referee just wanted to go home. It was really cool. It was the week before Christmas. I was playing for Pontypridd Youth at the time, and it was a magical day. But it gets boring, after the first probably 4 tries goes in the first 10-15 minutes. You're just like, So we wanted. I think we all wanted the scoreline to just be, 0-0, let's start again, let's make it interesting again, but didn't happen. What about you? Have you ever been in have you been in a team? I think I should start with that.
I did core PE at school. Does that count?
Oh, I love it. Okay, let's get back to the community then. Division 2 Cup now, round of 32. Larne, who are currently sit 1st in the league, travel to Abercrave, who are 2nd in West Central. That's the one for this one. Bryn Aman are at home to Betters, 6th and 8th respectively. Nancaredig are hosting Lampeter. They just lost to Lampeter this week. I can't see anything other than that. And Carmarthen Athletic are travelling to Pyle. 3 West now. To Croyce winning 34-6 away to Army United. Cardigan winning 22-19 at home to Llandilo. Havford West going down 13-25 at home to Aberaeron. Pontevedra and Cefneithin playing a 45-all draw. And a more interesting fact from this game, we had a father-son take the field. The father was playing for Cefneithin, the son was playing for Pontevedra. So if you don't know,
45 all.
Yeah,
45 all, and that's not the best bet. Like seriously, let me. Karen, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, but I don't want to. If I might spoil you here by if I steal your stat.
No, not a stat. Just
fact. That there was a World Cup winner playing in this game. At 12 for Cefneithin.
Marnonu.
Not necessarily 15's game.
Oh, I'm never going to get it. I don't know Sevens players.
Sevens. Oh, what year was it? Was it
I don't
2009?
know. The one time Wales have won it.
2009, Argentina in the final, lost them in the group stage. Hell of a tournament that was.
Not Reese Webb.
No. Played for Scarlets.
Lee Williams?
No. Played for Aberafon last season.
I can't think.
Ale Thomas.
No way.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just say he played for Quins a couple of weeks ago?
Because I don't want to make it easy for you.
Fine. That doesn't ruin it for me. Tumble winning 37-22 at home to Llangadog. Division 3 Cup round of 32. We just saw Pontyberem hold Kevin Nathan to a 45-all draw at home. They now get to go away and do it in the Cup. They said 8th and 9th each. The game is in Kevin Nathan this week. This is going to be bouncing. Cardigan at home against Carmarthen. Carmarthen second in the 8th league. So tough one for Cardigan, who was 7th. 3 versus 4th. Haverfordwest hosting Aberaeron the 1 and 3rd. Llangadog hosting Baglan. And to Croes, who are top in the league at the minute, play bottom side Amman United. So nice ones in there. Some really tasty fixtures in there. I'm looking forward to them.
Also,
West.
Sorry, I was going to say there's also, because Haverfordwest play Aberafon this weekend, and
Yes.
T. Croes and Amman United, so there's a lot of repeat the
Of course.
fixtures in that cup.
It is. Something we're seeing in the cup draws at all levels, as I think they draw in all the team, like some teams from some leagues, and they're leaving the others out. I know they do it with North Wales, but it seems to be doing it more with at this stage as well now.
So De Croes and Amman United are playing each other again?
Yeah, same as Haverfordwest and Aberaeron. And obviously Pontyberem and Kevin Nathan, but that is the one you want to go to, really. You know, you love being in the Gwendrite Valley anyway, so you may as well, pop down and have a watch. Okay. 4 West A now. Pembroke losing 31-41 at home to Neyland. Christ, couldn't imagine saying that a couple of years ago. Pembroke Quins 34-25 winners over Newcastle and Draghi. St. David's against Llanybudder was postponed. I've been lazy this week. I haven't found it why. Really sorry. Crymych Tyro winning 26-17 over Langam, and Narberth Athletic getting the bye. 4 West B, Furness winning 38-14 away to Binia. Pennebank 21-20 away to Fall Bay. Well up, Pennebank boys. Llandybi winning 31-3 at home to Pantavannan. Pontiac 24-19 away to Tregaron. And how you're going to bloody love this, my friend. Trimsaran 15, New Dock Stars 16.
I told you it was coming. Jiffy Davis, where are you now, eh?
I love this part. Community is just expanding with your comments. I'm bloody loving it, boys. Keep it up. Division 4 Cup, round of 32. Furness hosting Narberth Athletic, 1st and 3rd in their leagues. Trimsaran travelling to Gleis. Trimsaran 2nd, Gleis 5th. These are all in their own leagues. They're quite separated now, these are because of 4 West A and 4 West B. Neyland hosting Congos. Neyland sitting top at the minute, so well done to them. Llandybi are travelling to Pantavannan. Crymych Tyro are hosting Binia. And Newcastle and Draghi were meant to be playing Ortwen, but they forfeited for whatever reason. So Emlyn win this week. Yay!
You missed the big cup game there in Division 4. Where? 4? Here was NDS going again.
Yeah.
Travelling to the mighty Maesteg.
Maesteg. Is it Maesteg Celtic? Is it that one? Or is it a different one?
This is normal. This is plain Maesteg now.
It's Maesteg, formerly of the Welsh Premiership.
From way back when, I have to say it like that. But yeah.
I would have preferred if we were playing that Celtic team that took 100 points last week.
Well, I don't know. That's 2 divisions, mate. That could be a jump.
Oh, all right.
There's 2 first v thirds in this set of fixtures. Furness against Narberth Athletic and New Dock travelling to Maesteg. I think we do want to watch the Maesteg New Dock one to really see which league is better. Is it going to be West Central? Is it going to be one of the Wests? We know it's going to be one of the Wests. I don't even want to why I said that. Last round of the group stage of the Dewar Shield. Carmarthen scores 24-17 winners at home against RGC West. Pembroke rounding off a perfect group stage. 40 points to 5 in Hendy against Ashley Schools. They are going into the Dewar Shield knockouts. Well done, boys. It's great to see Pembroke. Ceredigion, I also believe, are going in as well. leagues, the group stage changed slightly this year, so I'm not 100%, but they won 22-19 away to last season's finalist, Mynydd Mawr. And, you know, fair play. When we're talking the Scarlets region and the school districts, the Dewar districts, Pembrokeshire and Ceredigion come in 1 and 2. That I don't think that's happened before. It's just the way things have set up. But those two being the top is really, really unusual. So all credit to them. I can't wait to find out the draws. Not sure when that's happening. It might have already happened, but there we go. Now, how do I stop sharing this screen, Bat? Because it's just gone off me. There we go. Stop sharing.
This is the top. Yeah. Right. I'm glad we're getting towards the home straight because I'm afraid we've received a letter.
Oh, Christ's sake. Oh.
If that was for dramatic effect, I think you went a bit wrong, Matt.
Yeah, for audio listeners.
I don't know why, but I went over this way to hold my head. I don't know why.
For audio listeners, Matt has just hit his head on the cupboard door. Anyway, we've had a letter and it's from Jac from Lucker. And it goes like this. Dear Sosbans and Sidesteps, this week's letter will be shorter than normal as 40% of my ink is unavailable. I've only seen the Scarlets win so far this week, as you were the only ones on telly. We do have internet in Lucker, but I used it all up tweeting about the Scarlets. Yours, Jac from Lucker.
I'm weak. I love it. I absolutely love that, Jac. You are a genius, and you follow in the footsteps of your idol as well. So, you know.
But let's be honest here now for a minute, isn't it? Realistically, when there are 2 Welsh regions featured on a Friday night, why would the BBC choose a game where the head coach of one of the teams has said almost half of my team isn't available? BBC are going to show a game that people want to tune in and watch, where the best players available are played, not rested, not out, not unavailable. They're going to pick a game where you're going to see the best. What happens? They did that. They picked a corker of a game. From what I saw from the scores, the other game wasn't a corker. Well, unless you're an Ulster fan. So yeah, sorry, Jac. On this occasion, I believe you may have got it wrong, and the BBC got it right.
Apart from they didn't plug the aerial in.
Well, yeah. Apart from maybe Jac borrowed the aerial to watch the game.
What it was, because he was obviously at the park, you know. It's the only ground he goes to see. It's the only rugby ground in his local vicinity that's, you know, worthwhile of a professional team.
Anyway, now comes the bit of the show where we preview the next game. Right, so the next game is against Zebre. Now, I tried to search out the last time that Zebre won away from home in the league.
And the internet wasn't invented?
And I got to the point where I couldn't be bothered going back any further. So if Zebre beat us on Friday, it will be their first win away from home in the league since time immemorial. So that being said, I'm quite worried about that happening.
Really?
Really?
As in, I'm nervous.
Oh, God, no.
Are you not? I'm nervous.
No, not at all. As in, if we lose this game, then we're in serious trouble. As in, this is probably the one fixture in the year I'm confident of us winning. And that's no disrespect to Zebre. I just don't. They're not good enough. And I think with the way things are with both clubs out in Italy, I think there's a massive gap between them and Benetton in terms of quality and players available at their disposal. And without wanting to disrespect Cardiff haven't been very good this year. And for 65 minutes, they looked like world beaters against Zebre. I'm not saying that we look like world beaters. I'm not saying that at all. But I do think we've shown enough to match what Cardiff have done, if not maybe played a bit better at times, just not got the rub of the green. So I expect a strong performance and a big result on Friday.
Yeah.
They beat Munster.
Yeah, one-offs. That was a very poor Munster. Come on, even you could admit that. Like, ask Colin.
They
Okay,
gave the Lions a decent game, but it was throwing it down with rain over in Palma last week. I will say that Trula should have smashed Edwin van der Merwe into
yeah.
touch. Like they should have won that game, really. They should have beat the Lions just. But, they say rain is the great equalizer. I'm worried that we'll think that we beat the Bulls, that means we're amazing and we won't turn up. I'm not ready to be confident yet. I'm just not ready.
Okay, can I just take you back 2 years ago? We've beaten the Bulls at home. The Bulls have never won at the Park. The Park is where you come to learn to be a matador. We are the Bull Tamers. It's not. We're not going to get in over our heads. I mean, I'm not expecting mass rotation. I'm expecting some rotation. Bench to 15 and vice versa. Not massive amounts. So the team is going to be the same team that we've been seeing these last 5 weeks.
Wayne, please play the proper team. Please play a proper team.
They've only won 2 losing bonus points away from home in 2024. As in, I think the most they've scored away from home in 2024 was when they. Oh, sorry, I lie. They got 4 bonus tries against Munster, but lost 45-29. So yeah, they've had 3, and 29 points is the most they've scored away from home this calendar year.
Just looking at our performances and knowing, and I can say knowing that the majority of that 23, Dan Davis, I believe, failed his HIA, so he's definitely not going to be there. I'm expecting at least 20, 21 of those boys involved to still be in this squad. So I don't have, I have, some concerns about, maybe how we're going to balance the game, but we've had those concerns all season with the bench and getting things correct. Yeah, if this is a game we are never losing. Like, at this point in time, this Scarlet side facing this Zebra side, yes, they are looking okay. We're not losing this game. There's no chance. And I'm going hell for leather, and I'm going to try and get down there this Friday.
Yeah, we have to play the proper team, though. I think the way that the URC is at the moment, if you play a rested side, you're going to lose. And it doesn't matter who you're playing against. So, I'm just not ready, lads. I've been hurt too many times. I'll take a 3-0, honestly, at this point.
Plus, there's the added incentive. If we get a bonus point win on Friday, we've got a home quarterfinal in the playoffs. We're up to 4th. Third if Benetton do a job on the Bulls. But I can't see the Bulls.
That'll be a good game. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, that should be a good one. But
I'll be honest, I've done my calculations and I've got us, with a bonus point, I got us finishing 8th after this block of fixtures. So I don't think you're including many other teams playing for there, but no.
Oh no, not at all. Mine was based on the fact that we were playing Friday, and only the Bulls and Benetton were also playing Friday. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
By Saturday we won't be 4th.
So, what are you boys thinking in terms of your 23? Because I got a feeling that this game has been earmarked that certain boys are going to get some minutes, because that's just something you do have to do.
That's what I'm worried about. I want to play the full strength. I don't want to do any rotating.
I think
play the proper team.
I think at the start of the season that would have been the case. The fact that we drew with Benetton and lost to Cardiff at home, I think may change the mindset.
Yeah.
We win big on Friday. This first block has been a success. Anything else, and to me, it's been a disappointing block of 6. So I personally, I wouldn't change much in the 23. If they're, as you say, Dan Davis failed his HIA, so he's out. I don't know what else much I'd change, to be honest. It was in.
I wouldn't play 3 locks. I'd have.
No,
I'd probably go back to. But does the Dan Davis injury force his hand slightly with that?
No, because we do. If Dan Davis is 100% HIA failed and not available, we are down to Taylor McLeod with Piloto.
Oh, Taylor. Sorry, I forgot about Taylor.
As our only 4 back row option. Now, I've compiled in minutes played, and knowing that some of these boys are going to Wales, I don't want them to be battered and bruised by the time they come back. Like Plumtree, we've already said, I'm expecting him to play, in excess of 200 minutes for Wales. So, personally for me, I want to try and make sure he stays as fresh as possible. Like, the only players that I've actually put into the 15 for myself is Jac Price and Max Page. And that's simply
I'll
because
go with that.
these boys have been on the bench. They need more minutes than what they've been getting. They're in that squad anyway. Jac Price has been brilliant. I know he's had 4 appearances, but he's only been on for more than 10 minutes twice, and he's looked good both times.
Yeah.
So I think he deserves some minutes. And Max Page, as a winger, not in the centres.
Oh, you think? I wouldn't mind resting Johnny.
Oh, I would have said maybe rest Eddie.
Johnny's
not going to Wales, isn't he?
Yeah. Just because, that's one of the reasons why I would keep Johnny, because we know he's not going to play any minutes.
That's what I mean. Yeah, start Johnny and Eddie on the bench, maybe, or Eddie out if you.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing what happened in that first Cardiff game with Page and his defence at 13, I worried a little bit. I want to get him on the wing, get him more comfortable.
Would you give maybe Tom a run out of fullback and put Max on the
Yeah, that's my thinking. But like, if I run down the team that I've put out for what I would like, Matthias Elias Wainwright, Price and Craig, Taylor McLeod to Apollo, Evan Jones, another one I forgot him, sorry, but I've been calling for him to start for the last 3 weeks, I think. Lloyd, Murray, James, Williams, Page, and Rogers on the bench. Warthog, as we all know. Sam O'Connor. I want to keep Hepburn fit, obviously. That's another thing to think about. Boys getting injured in this last game and not being available for Glasgow when Welsh internationals being rested. Henry Thomas on the bench, Lousy, Plumtree, Cawdor, Costello, and Johan Nicholas. Like, that is the 23 I've worked out myself. I've changed it about 5 times. I'll be honest with you, boys. I keep coming back to it and thinking, but I mean, you know what it's like.
The thing is, because it's the last game of a block and we've got a break, I would. Part of me is just go full strength, because they're either going to Wales and we know that half of them won't play, or they got a 3-week break. So
of the Wales contingent, I think it's only Henry Thomas, Plumtree, and Costello. And Costello's already been playing off the bench, which has been really good these last 2 games. And that's basically down to one Plumtree playing so many minutes. And Henry Thomas is not going to be available for Glasgow. I'm 100% certain. Well, okay, I say 100%. I don't know Captain's mind, but I'm sure he's going to be Wales starting 3. So I don't want to be in a position where Glasgow comes, Arthur Holtz is not fit and ready, and we've got Sam Wainwright, who's got a combination of 50, 60 minutes over the first block, and he's starting again. I don't want to be in that position. I want to make sure that he has got plenty of game time under his belt.
Personally, I go hell for leather against Zebre because I expect us to beat Zebre. Glasgow isn't a given, and sometimes you've got to take one for the team, and I'd rather us, because if we lose to Zebre, we've got to beat Glasgow without our Welsh stars. If we beat Zebre and don't get the result we want against Glasgow, it's not the end of the world, because obviously they are defending champions. It is up there. Yes, they're missing their players as well, but it's a tough place to go, even if we have a full strength squad. So I would target this game and then worry about Glasgow in a month.
Yeah,
Glasgow haven't lost at home in over a year.
There we are then.
Yeah. Anyone else want to chime in? But yeah, because I think we're coming close to the end now, boys.
I think we are. Oh, we just need to mention Cawdor's retired from Wales.
Ooh, yes.
I think other people talk about more than us because he still plays for us. So we don't miss him. We still see him every week.
We get more of him.
Yeah, practice your exits, Cawdor, and I'll see you next week. Foxy obviously is retired full stop. He already left us, so we did loads of tributes about him at the time. See everything we've ever said about him. Best back any of us have ever seen.
Yeah. And I can firmly say he's been the best back I've seen in the last 16 years. I first, like I put a post about it. I first saw him in the Junior World Cup in 2008, first time I met him as well. And I was in awe of him back then. You know, I was only a year or two younger at the time, but he was unbelievable and he's got better ever since. Kind of wish it would have come at the end of last season so we wouldn't have to be doing this twice. But yeah, love Foxy. And I was very happy with him in the commentary, not the commentary, both in the studio game against the Bulls. You know, I like to see more of that.
Well, he's got time now. He's just tired.
Yes, he does. I guess that does bring us to the end now. Thank you, boys, for joining me. Thank you, all our listeners. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Every little thing you do helps. And we'll see you all again next week celebrating a Scarlets bonus point win. Bye, guys.